Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in to the post game show. This is definitely a great result for the Browns today. The question now is, do the Browns have all the answers after beating the Ravens? So we'll let everybody jump into the stream, jump in. Everybody jump in. Welcome everybody into the stream. Now I picked pregame. I picked the Browns to cover. It was Browns. They were plus 9.5. I knew that spread was too much. Ravens. We looked at all the games they played. They weren't really blowing teams out. They blew out the Buffalo Bills, and besides the Buffalo Bills, they just were not putting up a lot of points, or they were putting up a lot of points. I misspoke. They were not blowing teams out, so they don't blow out one team. So I definitely knew it would have been a division game. It would definitely be closer. Pleasantly surprised by how the game went. We also, I'm just going to say this first and get it out the way. We were extremely lucky that Jameis Winston didn't throw 3 interceptions this game. He threw some lollipops to the defense that they definitely could have took advantage of. So this is, mostly going to be an all positive post game show. So just want to get the negatives out the way first. Jameis definitely put the ball in harm's way. That's what happens when you're a gunslinging quarterback. You accept the risk, so you put the ball in harm's way. Just glad that for whatever reason, the Ravens they are not good at they are not good at catching interceptions, because if they were, this would definitely be a different game. It would definitely be a different outcome. So just have to be excited about that. That it went our way. We're letting some people join in. Shout out to everybody jumping in. Shout out to everybody jumping into the stream. All right, so everybody, talk to me. Talk to me. How do you feel about this Browns victory? Is it what you expected from the Browns? How do you feel about the offense? How do you feel about how the offensive line did? A lot of people this week, let me say this first. I'm very excited that the Browns got the win. It was really tough watching every week. We were losing every single game. So I'm definitely excited about that. One thing I will say, though, the Browns offensive line, they look like a totally different offensive line. Getting Wyatt Teller back, him getting some pancakes in this game. DeJuan Jones playing left tackle. He did have one time where he jumped off sides. Besides that, I don't recall him having any mistakes. It looks like the last play that the Browns had the ball on offense before halftime, they did blitz from the left side, but that's something that Jameis would have had to notice, so he can change the protection to slide it to that side. So we're not going to put that on DeJuan Jones, that strip sack. Dak or Bo Nix, man. You definitely you got to go Dak, man. I'm Bo Nix. I don't see him putting up a lot of fantasy points. So shout out to you, Ben. Ben, one thing that's interesting about the Ravens is they blow out a lot of teams, but they always play the Browns close. And for whatever reason, the Browns, they kind of put just enough pressure on Lamar to kind of change the way he thinks the game. And if you notice throughout this game, even Lamar should have probably had 3 interceptions too, which is crazy. Because I want to say he only has 2 on the year, but he easily should have had 3 interceptions this game. I know Delpit dropped one, Denzel Ward dropped one, and I can't think of who else had opportunity. But uh, even Lamar, he just put the ball in harm's way. Both of these quarterbacks, man, they were on a race to see who could throw the ball to the opposite team first. So I like Jameis as a gunslinger, but he definitely has that side of him, the same way Flacco did, where you will see them putting ball in harm's way. So definitely see a lot of that. Ben, what do you think about the Ravens after this game? I see there your logo. What do you think about them after this game? You look at them the same way as being the dominant team, 5-3. Do you look at them? differently? Are you nervous? The Browns, we got the win. It was a great win for the Browns. Basically, being 2-6, our season's kind of over when it comes to like playoffs and things like that. But your team is definitely in the mix for the playoffs. So tell me, what do you think? What do you think about your team going forward? I know somebody asked me if they could take Cedric Tillman earlier today. Hey, yeah, man. It's weird. I don't know what y'all. I don't know what y'all do well on defense now. Normally, you can look at the Ravens and say, okay, they last year y'all were great at sacking the quarterback. Y'all just dominated. This year, I mean, I know y'all two starting corners were out. Marlon Humphrey. I can't think of your other corner who was out. Um, but I don't know what y'all do well is the defense, which that's rare to say for Baltimore Ravens defense. I don't know what y'all do well. A couple people asked me questions pregame. Definitely told somebody to take Tillman. You see, he did great, 99 yards, 7 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Also told someone to take David Njoku, 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Somebody asked me about taking Rashad Bateman. I think I explained to them how I just didn't really have much faith in Bateman, and you see it there. Bateman could have made me look like a fool. I want to say he dropped 3 passes, and Lamar extended those plays. And I mean, the one where it kind of got caught in the sun, he stumbled. That thing hit him on his face mask. Another one, he off the 2 hands, he dropped it. So Bateman he struggled today. If he catches those passes, he has a totally different game. I like how they got Elijah Moore and Jared Judy involved in the game plan. You see it here. Elijah Moore is targeted 12 times. Elijah Moore is one of the players on our offense who I think we just weren't taking advantage of. He definitely is a great route runner, especially in space. He just creates a lot of separation on defenders. So we definitely need to take advantage of that because one thing we heard was that the Browns receivers aren't getting open. And I'm just not believing that because it had to be the concepts they were running because today it was receivers wide open. Jameis didn't have to throw anybody open today. He kind of threw Judy open coming across the middle. I want to say it was on a third down off of play action maybe. It probably wasn't third down. It was off play action. But besides Judy, I don't remember him having to throw anybody open. And I remember whenever Deshaun was playing, it was all about him throwing people open. So I did get some questions about other guys early on. So the ones that I remember, I'll try to look at the scoreboard and see how those other guys did. Let's see. Somebody asked me about Jalen Hurts, or I can't think of who it was. Jalen Hurts had a pretty good game because he had the 3 rushing touchdowns. I think it was Jalen Hurts or Kirk Cousins. So we see Jalen Hurts, 236, 16 for 20, a touchdown, 3 rushing touchdowns. It's going to be hard for Kirk Cousins to beat that. But I want to say Kirk Cousins had like a monster game today. So let's see, where is he at? Lions went crazy. Somebody asked me about Jared Goff. I can't remember who the quarterback was. They said, Jared Goff. Jared Goff, this is crazy. 12 for 15, 85 yards, 3 touchdowns. So those 3 touchdowns save it. The Lions just, normally I don't even post about other. That's a fact, new hero. The Browns did win. That is a fact. We definitely, we needed a victory Monday. We haven't had a victory Monday in a while. So I'll play this one.
Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
You're going to be hearing a lot of cheers as people are leaving the stadium today. So that definitely felt good for the Browns to get that dub. So new hero, you are like me, happy that we got back in the winning column. Let's see. It was somebody else I was checking out. It was good seeing the Bengals lose. Bengals got stumped, so that was good. So far, this has been a great day for Browns fans. A game that it's kind of a long shot for us to win. The Bengals get blown out by the Eagles. So, that's a good thing. Now it's just the Steelers. They play tonight. They play the Giants. Yeah, I don't got no faith in the Giants. So Steelers look like they might be able to get the dub tonight. What's another player? I'm trying to see. Somebody asked me about, man, the Titans got stumped. And it wasn't even close. Like the Lions could have put up 70 if they wanted to, man. They could have easily put up 70. They was in 2 minute, not 2 minute. They were in run the clock for the whole second half, man, just trying to get that game over with. Somebody asked me about Devontae Adams. See, I didn't have faith in him. He had 4 for 54. Devontae, the Jets were not a receiver away from being a good team. Shout out to new hero for the follow. I'll definitely follow you back when my stream is over. Also, I'll be checking out some of your content if you post a lot. Seahawks tanking, by the way. Yeah, Devontae Adams, he didn't do too good. The Jets were not a receiver away, for sure. RIP Jimmy Donovan. It's crazy because that's the only kind of voice that I really know of calling Browns games. So it's gonna be weird. I kind of don't listen to the sound now, especially this year since he, before the year he said he wasn't gonna be calling any more games. So I don't listen to the sound anymore. But definitely, every exciting moment he called it for the Browns. Let's see. Okay, that's what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at Kirk Cousins. See how Kirk Cousins did. Somebody asked me about him. 276, 23, 29, 276, 4 touchdowns, man. So Kirk Cousins putting up numbers, man. He's been putting up numbers. One thing I would like to see put to rest is everybody talking about us having Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is putting up some gaudy numbers offensively. But he has a decent amount of turnovers. So let's just look at this real quick because the Baker Bros, man, they won't go away. They won't go away, and they just keep bringing him up. But so far this year, he already has 7 interceptions. So he has 18 touchdowns, but he has 7 interceptions. Nice passer rating, okay QBR, but 7 interceptions through 7 games. That's 1 pick a game. So I know people think that he's the answer and we miss him, but you look, his team is 4-4. So at some point we got to accept the fact that the Browns did get rid of Baker. They moved on. He's been on 3 teams since he's been on the Browns, so we got to let it go. One thing I thought about as I was watching the game, so I'm on X as I'm watching the game and I'm seeing posts. I want to go here. I don't know if Anthony Richardson got hurt or if he got pulled. Yeah, I think they're gonna keep Deshaun only because of his contract. If we sign Deshaun to a contract where, like at the end of this year, we could get out of it, I think they would get out of it. Since it's fully guaranteed, and it's just at that point, it just makes sense to just have him on the team because you're gonna pay him anyway since it's fully guaranteed. So I think for that reason, I don't think they're gonna get rid of him. I think he also had like 7 good quarters of football this year, and I think they're gonna kind of hold on to that. I don't know if that's a mistake moving forward going into next year, but what it seems like is he looked like a quarterback this year to start the year that didn't play in OTAs. He didn't play in the preseason. So one thing I would like to see different is if he isn't able to play in OTAs, if he isn't able to play in the preseason, I would like to see us start another quarterback and let him build up his health and work his way back into shape. Kind of behind the scenes. I passed. Hey, that's a fact. You said it. You said it. Yeah. Ravens quarterbacks, man, and that safety. It's one safety for the Ravens. Man, they were just abusing him. Let me see if I can find his name, man. Let's see. That's a fact. You said it. You called it before the game. Like this is the type of game that y'all would lose. And And it's your defense, man. Kyle Hamilton wasn't bad. I don't know how he dropped that pick. I'm happy he dropped the pick, but I don't know how he dropped that pick. Let's see. What's the guy's name? We got to find a dude's name that they kept going at, man. What is Eddie Jackson? Eddie Jackson. Man, they were torching him, man. Like Kyle Hamilton, him coming up and defending the run, he should have a lot of tackles, but there's no way he should have 10 tackles. That mean they were just abusing him. They kept going at him. So that's why Eddie Jackson had so many tackles. He gave up the touchdown to Cedric Wilson. Cedric Tillman, which ended up being a game-winning touchdown. They were torching Eddie Jackson. I don't know what they saw on film, but they were torching him. And I passed. Yeah, y'all. I was saying it earlier before you probably were before you jumped on the stream. I passed. I don't know what y'all defense does well. You know, usually the Ravens, they have something. Last year, y'all were number one in sacks. Usually y'all are very physical in defense. This year, this is the first time I watched a complete Ravens game. I watched highlights and like clips and stuff like that. But watching a whole game of the Ravens, I'm like, dang, I don't know what they do well on defense. All right. And that's weird because usually, if nothing else, you know, the Ravens defense is going to be tough. It's going to be hard nosed. You got to fight for everything. But really, Jameis was throwing to open receivers all game. In zone coverage, y'all weren't near anybody. That's a fact. Hey, I don't know what, like, usually every game I watch, shout out to Luke for the follow. Oh, he's a first-time coach. Okay, that makes sense because usually every game I watch, I'm like, okay, they're trying to take this away. So as a defense, the way to determine that you have a good defensive coach is your defensive coach. You can see it on the field what they're trying to take away. And I don't know what the Ravens defensive coordinator is trying to take away from the Browns. It doesn't seem like he was trying to take away the run because we got, we could get 3 yards easy on y'all, 3-4 yards. We can get that easy. So he wasn't taking that away. I don't see why you would need to take away the short game, less than 10-yard throws. That don't make sense. You seem like that would be something you would give up. Jameis kind of ate in the 10 to 20-yard range of throws, which is crazy because the Browns haven't been able to do that all year. So, yeah, just looking at y'all defense, I was like, what is he trying to take away? I can't see it. So, yeah, I seen that, and definitely, man, that secondary, man, oh, man. That secondary, man, it need help. That secondary needs help. It needs help. The Browns don't have the most explosive receivers, and if this is what the Browns can do with Jameis, with our offensive line kind of playing, we still playing a patchwork offensive line. I don't know what y'all gonna do against like really good teams because you gotta remember the Browns are now just a 2-6 team. It's not like we are some 6-2 team that's just dominating. So that's not a good look for the Ravens, I would say. But definitely excited for the win. Definitely excited that we can have a victory Monday. Definitely happy for that. Nick Chubb, you can see Nick Chubb is working his way back in. One thing that is going to be amazing when Nick Chubb gets his kind of full vision and timing back with his cutbacks, that's going to be really good to see. Ken Dorsey, he did really well calling plays today. Man, $20 on the Ravens. See, the good bet was the Browns were plus 9.5. So you didn't have to bet the Browns money line. You just bet the Browns plus 9.5 points. We looked at it pregame. The Ravens only had one blowout win, so I would have easily bet Browns and Browns and the points. I mean, I think it's easy to say Watson was a problem. Watson was bad, but you also got to remember when they called up the stats. I mean, we gave it the most pressure, we gave it the most sacks. That changed today. One thing that people have to see is the Browns' offensive line. The offensive line, we got Wyatt Teller back, so we're not starting a rookie at right guard. Joe Bitonio's back. Right tackle, we got Conklin playing. Left tackle, we put DeJuan Jones in place of Jedrick Wills. Because Deshaun has been so bad, people don't realize how bad Jedrick Wills has been this year. Jedrick Wills has been really bad the last year and a half that he's played in games. So just not having him in and putting DeJuan Jones out there left tackle, and DeJuan Jones only playing one game at left tackle in college, and him stepping in and us not saying he's getting beat, he's getting confused, and all these things. Jameis Winston has so much time to throw the ball. This is not defensive Deshaun, but Deshaun never had as much time as Jameis Winston had to throw the ball today. And Deshaun played bad. This is not defense. He played bad. But the offensive line had a great game today. Great game. So, you gotta look at those things too, where a lot of people are just gonna say it's Deshaun and Deshaun was terrible, but our offensive line was just as terrible this year. Our offensive line was injured this year. So you got to see after a couple of weeks, but the offensive line definitely, it was encouraging to see the offensive line back. It was encouraging to see them want to run the ball more, so they can be aggressive and kind of push the Ravens around. So that was a good thing to see. So I think the easy answer is to say Deshaun was so bad, but I think it's a combination of things. Yeah, at this point, you got to say that Kansas City's gonna make they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl again. Because they're 6-0. Mahomes has played bad, and they're still winning. And they just added Hopkins. So, I mean, their defense. One thing nobody's talking about. They only talk about Mahomes when they talk about the Chiefs. They're not talking about the Chiefs' defense. The Chiefs' defense is really good, and it's a young, good defense. So, nobody's showing me anything that says that they could outplay the Chiefs' defense so far. And then, at this point, you just got to give Mahomes the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, you just look crazy. So I definitely think they're the favorites. AFC favorites for sure to make it to represent the AFC. Yeah, but it's a combination of things that work for the Browns. Ken Dorsey, I think he did really well. I didn't question anything he did except for hey, but look, Kyle Hamilton kept you all in the game on that strip sack before the half that led to the touchdown. If we kind of run that timeout, this could be a different game because we put more pressure on y'all. So we put more pressure on y'all to not run the ball in the second half. So that was a bad call. That's the only thing I didn't like that Dorsey did. I don't know why he was dropping back on 3rd and 15 trying to throw the ball. He did. He should have caught that interception. For a fact. He should have caught that interception. For facts. Hey, that's why he's a safety. That's why he played defense, man. He don't got the hands. He wasn't the only one. Y'all should have had 3 picks. So if you call out Kyle Hamilton, you got to call out who else dropped another one? I don't think it was the Eddie Jackson dude. It was somebody else that dropped a pick. Jameis threw y'all 3 of them. Oh, Bateman. Somebody asked me about Bateman in the pregame, and I was like, I got no faith in Bateman. Kyle Hamilton probably catch better than Bateman. So that's telling you, Bateman, he just fumbled over his feet on that great play that Lamar made. The Lions, I see you, Dylan. Lions, they dumped on the Titans. Titans, man, just forget about it. Bateman, that's a problem. Having Bateman as a receiver that you have to rely on is a problem. You know what happened? It's all about matchups, though. It depends on if you see you're a Ravens fan, so you kind of looking at it from that side. But as a Browns fan, one thing that the Browns did a lot of that we never do, we normally just line up and go. We ran so much motion so we can help Jameis identify if we were in man or if y'all were in zone, which helped him a lot. So we were able to manipulate the matchups to help him out. And I was saying it earlier that the Ravens, I don't know what y'all do well on defense. I don't know what y'all trying to take away from the Browns. And then y'all got to catch interceptions. Y'all have to. That's a fact. Yeah, our defense, if you look, we're not giving up a lot of points as people think. Our defense just has lapsed because we had so many 3 and outs. We had so many, we stayed on the field so long. So yeah, I agree with that. I didn't expect a high scoring game either. I think the over under was, pregame was maybe 44, 45. So, Mark Davis 387. You saying the Ravens lost that game? Yeah, I didn't. I didn't expect the high scoring game either. See, this is the thing though. Can you blame Harbaugh for? Can you blame Harbaugh for y'all dropping 3 picks? Another thing, man. Yeah, y'all dropped. Jameis was throwing them to y'all. Jameis was. It was one where. It was one where. Dang, it might have been. Dang, it might have been Kyle Hamilton too. No, that was the overthrow where he dropped that one at the end of the game. But it was another one where Jameis he threw the ball direct. It was Tillman. I think it was the one good thing that Eddie Jackson did. Tillman, he went into a deep post across the middle, and y'all had single high safety. And I think it was Jackson who dropped the touchdown. I mean, he dropped the interception right by the touchdown. So y'all should have had 3 picks. Y'all had those 3 picks. That's a different game. That's true. That combination, Bateman not catching passes and Hamilton not catching interception definitely hurt y'all. Yeah, Justin Tucker not the same though. We got to remember how long a kick it was that he probably didn't take with Justin Tucker because man, 50 plus yards Tucker struggling. He barely he barely made I think it was a 49 or 48-yard field goal. He barely made it. So, Hamilton is hit and miss, man. Hamilton can look like a great player coming up and playing in the box. In coverage, I don't think he's the best defender in coverage, but he does well against less shifty receivers. Um, but yeah, Hamilton and Bateman, they could have helped y'all blow this game out. But that's why I think the NFL is so exciting because the best team doesn't always win. Me personally, just being just being real, I'm a Browns fan through and through. But this season, the Ravens are a better team than the Browns. But that just doesn't mean that you line them up and the Browns are going to lose the game because they still got to play it, and there's different things that can happen that cause a team to lose. So if and another thing, Lamar didn't have the best game. Lamar made some great plays with his legs, but Lamar could have threw 3 picks too. Both of these quarterbacks were trying to get a game away. Yeah, if y'all catch, so just think about it like this: if y'all catch 3 interceptions from Jameis, y'all easily win this game, and that don't matter what Kyle Hamilton does. If y'all catch the 3 interceptions that Jameis tried to throw y'all win this game. On the flip side, if the Browns catch the 2 interceptions that Lamar tried to throw us, then is it a game? So the quarterback play in this game was pretty. It's gonna look good on paper because you're not gonna see the interceptions, but watching the game, you knew both of these quarterbacks. They put the ball in harm's way a lot. They definitely was throwing it up. They was throwing it up there like just figure it out. So yeah, that's the thing that's gonna go unnoticed. That's why when people don't watch the game, you could tell they didn't watch the game because you know what's gonna happen. Shout out to Mark for the follow. I definitely follow you after the stream. One thing, people who didn't watch this whole game, they're gonna say, "Man, Lamar, he didn't play too bad." They're gonna look at his stats. They're gonna say his stats don't look that bad. Man, that's so tough. Um, Based on the way this season has been going, I think we finally would have got to a point where we needed to bench Watson. Um, I think the Browns got so lucky that all these things happened at one time. Yeah, I agree. Lamar, he did not. That's what I'm saying. I know that Lamar Jackson didn't play like a great game, but I'm saying like people who didn't watch the game, they're gonna look at his stats and say, "Dang, Lamar played good enough to win." But really, people who watched the game, we saw that Lamar he kind of was giving this game away, especially in the first half. Um, but yeah, I think the Browns got lucky. This is gonna sound crazy because I'm not happy that Deshaun got injured. I'm not trying to say it that way. Um, but I think the Browns got lucky with us being 1-6, Deshaun Watson getting injured. We got so many wholesale changes that the Browns would have never did. So we got Stefanski giving up play calling to Ken Dorsey. We got the Browns trying Dewan Jones at left tackle instead of just putting somebody else at left tackle. We got Jameis going in and starting over um, DTR. So we kind of just got we kind of stumbled into these changes that's gonna look good because me personally, I don't think they was gonna bench Deshaun. I think we could have been sitting at 1-10. Still don't think they was gonna bench Deshaun. So this is one of them situations where these decisions they were made for us. No, he didn't. He he only he only took one good clean shot that I saw. Winston, man, this offensive line that we sent out there today, this is by far the best game our offensive line has played start to finish. We still had false start on we had a couple of false starts. I think we had a false start on Wyatt Teller. We had a false start on Dewan Jones, but this was still the best our offensive line. Our offensive line's played. Mark, you know what it is? When you this is our 39th starting quarterback that we had when Winston started today. Yeah, he had forever. He had forever to throw the ball. Y'all D line got no pressure on him. Shout out to you, Bob. Yeah, it was a good game. When your team is so close, if you look at our defense and then you look at some of the things we have, because you got to go back a couple years when Nick Chubb was definitely in the argument for top running back in the league. Basically, we felt like we couldn't get there with Baker, so you gamble instead of like trying to draft a homegrown quarterback, and just build him up and get him up to speed with the team. We gambled. We traded a lot away for Deshaun, and in hindsight, it's looking like, man, we didn't get what we wanted out of it. So to be honest, we could have just not, even if we moved on from Baker, we could have drafted a young quarterback and just let him develop. And it would have been better than us giving Deshaun the 230. So like it looks it's very clear that was just a mistake. It was a mistake. The funny thing is it wasn't good. We get crushed for the Deshaun Watson trade, but look at what people forget what Denver gave up to get Russ, only to trade Russ and eat all that guaranteed money. Vibe, that's a fact. Y'all had it's crazy. Y'all had crucial drops on offense and defense. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely props to the Browns for the win. Vibe, y'all had drops on offense and defense. Y'all should have had 3 picks, and Bateman let y'all down. He let y'all down. He let y'all down for real. I don't have faith in Bateman. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Bateman like a really good special teams player that they kind of moved into receiver? Because I could be thinking of somebody else, but I thought, yeah, but Hamilton definitely could have sealed the game for sure. He definitely could have sealed the game. Okay. Bateman wasn't. Y'all had a good returner. Y'all had a good returner a couple years ago who I thought that it was Bateman, but I guess not. But Bateman, Bateman looks like he was like a punt returner, kick returner, super fast, who just can't catch. A vibe. Lamar didn't let you down in the second half, but in the first half, Lamar he couldn't do nothing. Lamar could have had 2 picks in the first half too. So, it's weird how well that the Browns do against Derrick Henry. That's another thing that's kind of going unnoticed. Derrick Henry has been. Oh yeah, that ain't even close. Flowers is definitely the best receiver y'all drafted for sure. Definitely the best. Derrick Henry doesn't do well against the Browns, and his stats, it's gonna look better for people who didn't watch the game. They're gonna say, "Oh man, 11 carries, 73 yards for Derrick Henry," but without that 39-yard run, his stats don't look that good. Yeah, y'all had a good time blitz. But this is Lamar Jackson. If you've been a Ravens fan for a while, you know that this is how Lamar plays against the Browns for whatever reason. Joe Burrow's the same way. Hey, shout out to the dog pound for sure, D1 Gamer. Yeah. Hey, we we 2-6, so y'all might be playing for way more than us in week 18. So I ain't even gonna say that about that. At that point, we might be, man, we might be looking at who we gonna draft in the top 5. So I'm just gonna enjoy this one today and not not even think about it because we're not gonna be playing for nothing in week 18. I'm a Browns fan, but it's just teams don't fast good GG's Baltimore. Teams don't turn around from Wiggins. Okay. That's your other cornerback. Okay, I knew Marlon Humphrey was out. I saw him on the sideline. Wiggins, man. So y'all 1 and 2 cornerbacks was out, and then y'all was playing 3 and 4 was starting. That's tough. And then man, I don't know Eddie Jackson. Man, they was torching him the whole game. So they was torching him. Let me check out some scores real quick. There's some games we got going on. It's a weird score, 2-3. What is that? Man, Lamar kind of been balling this year for real. I think the thing that changed y'all offense today is that we didn't let y'all dominate the ground game like y'all have been doing this year. Nah, man, man, Flacco is fool's gold. Flacco looks good, and then you see in a pressurized situation like we saw in the playoffs against Houston, he throw all those picks and the game is over. For a backup. But the thing is, if Lamar gets hurt, you got to change the whole offense. You got to change the whole offense to a different offense for Flacco because Flacco can't run the same offense as Lamar. So why y'all let? I don't know who y'all backup is, but I don't know why y'all let Huntley go. Huntley did pretty decent when he ran y'all offense. I agree. I think Flacco's too old. You see, they putting them in, they taking them out. In Indianapolis. So man, the Raiders scored on the Chiefs. That's crazy. Expecting that. Seahawks down at the Bills. What is happening? The Panthers already scored? Yeah, I agree he too old. Yeah, see, I think defense need to practice on catching picks. That's funny. That's a fact. Y'all dropped about 3 on the day. It's weird. Flacco does good in spurts. I think he does good in spurts. I don't know if you ever hand the keys to your offense to Flacco at this point. Oh, Bryce Young starting. Okay. That's a fact. But just think that's most teams. Um, you know, Lamar Jackson's a top 5 quarterback. So you just look around the league and what team can lose their a top 5 quarterback and be good? That's like Buffalo losing their quarterback. That's like Mahomes going down. Y'all got a top 5 quarterback. So it's not many teams who could bounce back from that. Hey, Panthers, that's crazy. And they playing in Denver. Wow. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't have that much faith in Bateman. Luckily, I don't have to, but I don't have that much faith in Bateman. I don't have that much faith in him. But I appreciate y'all joining the stream. I appreciate y'all chiming in. I'll be back next week, 12:30. On Sundays, I go live pregame for about 30 minutes. I go live postgame, 30, 40 minutes, just, kind of wrap everything up. So I appreciate all y'all for tapping in. Anybody that follows me, I follow you back when my live is over. So I appreciate it. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all being civil. I really appreciate